Alabama Supreme Court ruling that frozen embryos are considered children under state law has leaders in the state and nation talking about what this means for in vitro fertilization patients here in Alabama. WAAY 31 reporter Maddie McCaffrey joins us live in Huntsville now with the latest on a story that is sparking strong reaction. Maddie.
That's right, Dan. The Alabama Supreme Court's ruling, it's brought up so much conversation across the country, from national health leaders to state legislators to even local pastors here in Huntsville expressing their support to protect IVF treatments. At least 3 IVF treatment facilities in Alabama have paused their services in light of the ruling by the state Supreme Court. Here in North Alabama, we have 3 IVF centers. One has paused treatments, but the Fertility Institute of North Alabama says they're not planning on going anywhere.
I'm having a hard time piecing together enough risk that is not unlike any other medical risk in order to just stop doing IVF altogether.
Still, the ruling by the state Supreme Court has families going through IVF concerned. It has faith leaders talking, like Reverend Dr. Don Darius Butler, pastor at First Missionary Baptist Church here in Huntsville.
This particular method of conceiving does not violate the sanctity of life. I think it is a move toward procreation. And as a result, I think it is sound morally, it is sound theologically.
Reverend Butler says he hopes that state legislators clarify the high court's ruling soon because he's heard of people considering leaving the state if IVF treatments are not protected.
They are concerned that if this is allowed to stand, if our state legislature does not enact legislation that would provide for this as a means of becoming pregnant and sustaining a pregnancy, then they would have to go to other states where that can be allowed.
Tuesday, Senator Tim Melson of Florence introduced a bill that applies guidelines about who can be prosecuted, including immunity to anyone providing IVF services. Now, no top officials from the Catholic Church like the Vatican or the United States Conference of Bishops have spoken about Alabama's Supreme Court ruling on IVF. Tonight, I spoke with a Catholic priest here in Huntsville who told me that the Catholic Church's view on IVF remains the same regardless of the Supreme Court's ruling. I'm reporting live in Huntsville with coverage you can count on. Maddie McCaffrey, WAAY 31 News.
Thank you, Maddie. The country's top health official, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra, visited Birmingham today, sitting with a panel of women who have been impacted by the Alabama Supreme Court ruling. They all shared a similar sentiment. They want to be parents, but now they're worried that may not happen. Becerra said the Biden administration is looking over possible ways they can help on the federal level. Meanwhile, Governor Kay Ivey aiming to remove the uncertainty for IVF clinics, saying she's anticipating a bill on her desk that will, quote, get this right.